Hey guys, what's up? Thank you very much for joining the live stream or for watching the recording. If you're watching the recording, I will try to be brief today because I will be basically just answering one question which we've been getting a lot in Move to Prague. And I just saw it on Facebook as well, asked today in some of the groups. So I just decided to answer that question. And the question is, uh, can my family apply for their family reunification visa along with me? Basically, how to get your family here in the safest possible way. Okay, so generally, you can all apply for your visas at the same time, meaning you all, I mean, like the main applicant applying, for example, for an employee card or a blue card or a student visa or student residence permit, whatever, and your family, your wife, husband, kids. I'm not really talking about parents because that's different and that's way more complicated, but about like the closest family, like spouses and kids, that applies there. So in theory, you can all apply at the same time. So you can all go to the embassy if you manage to get appointments at the same time and submit your applications at the same time. This was suspended at some embassies during COVID, for example. So during COVID, the main applicant had to be approved first before, and I froze on Facebook. I'm back on Facebook. So the main applicant had to be approved before his family members or her family members could apply for their own family reunification visas. But that only was applying during COVID because of the restrictions and everything. Normally, under normal circumstances, you can all apply at the same time. Another question is if to do it or not. The thing is that if you Czech Republic kind of very much respects family. So if the main applicant is already approved, then the family reunification visa will be approved almost like 100%. Of course, nothing is 100% with the Ministry of the Interior, and I've seen some people who were dealing with their visas on their own and they got the family reunification visa denied, which is, for me, it's kind of surprising, or not really surprising if you're doing it on your own, because you can make some small mistakes which can like lead to the denial. But if you use a professional service like Move to Prague, for example, that's the easiest type of visa you can get approved, because the main applicant is already here, it's approved, or he or she is approved, and you're just trying to bring his or her family, and that's like really the simplest type of visa to get approved. So the safest way to do it would be get the main applicant approved first and then apply for the family. One reason is that, as I mentioned, if the main applicant is already approved, their family members will be basically approved almost like in all cases. Second thing is also that if you all apply at the same time, the ministry will be evaluating the application a bit more carefully, because it's not, for example, one person moving here, but it's three people or four people or even a couple moving here. So they will be evaluating your income, your accommodation more, because you need to have accommodation for more people, you need to have money for more people. So if you all apply at the same time, it might kind of delay the approval process, and it might make it a bit more complicated, or like the ministry will just investigate more. But besides that, there should be no problem. If the main applicant is good, the application of the main applicant is strong. So, for example, if it's a blue card or an employee card with a good employer, then I would not be really afraid of that. If it's like a student visa in some, like, I don't know, not really good university, or it's not even a student visa but the other type, then I would definitely recommend waiting for the approval of the first main applicant, and only after the approval I would apply for the family. Because if the main applicant's application is not really strong, then adding a family would make it even like worse. So it's better to get the main applicant approved first and then apply for the family in this case. But if the main applicant has a strong application, all can apply at the same time. And another thing I want to mention here is that there are, I created a special video about that separately some time ago. So scroll down in the Facebook group, or if you're watching me from YouTube, then just like search for family reunification visa, and you will find a video explaining this in detail. But another thing is that there are two types of, let's say, visas or residence permits, or two types of ways of staying in the Czech Republic. First is a long-term visa. That's a sticker in your passport. There is no legal right to get the visa approved, which means that if the main applicant applies for a visa, they don't have to get it. If the family applies for a visa, they don't have to get it. Even if it's a family, as I said, it's the easiest one to get, but still there is no legal right to get it. If you are applying for the residence permit, okay, so one thing, that the ministry can deny a visa application based on whatever fake reason they think out. If they say, hey, I don't like your sneakers, they're too blue, then they can do that. You cannot sue them, you cannot do anything. There's no legal right to get a visa approved. But if you apply for a long-term residence permit, then it's governed by some additional law, not only the immigration law, but also the civil code and others. Okay, I'm just watching the dog. So it's governed by also a different law, the civil code. So the ministry and some other code. So it's the ministry cannot deny the application that easily. They cannot have fake reasons. If you apply for a long-term residence permit as a family member for a family reunification residence permit, and the ministry wants to deny your application, they will need to find a very, very good reason to do that. And you can appeal it, and you can submit additional documents, and you can actually sue the government. So this is another way. If you have a chance to apply for the residence permit instead of the visa, then definitely do that. When you can do that, that's a different topic. Go back to my previous videos and watch it there. I explain it there. But if you can choose and you can apply for the visa or residence permit, you already qualify for both, and your only concern is to get approved. I'm not talking about the timeline, because the visa is definitely faster than the residence permit. But if your main concern is to get it approved, then going for the residence permit is the safer way. So, hello, doggy. Okay, so I've seen that there are quite some messages, so I will start replying them. So, Eripshit, hi, nice to see you. Comes to almost all my live streams, so thank you very much for that. Arpan Shah, if student visa, sorry, the dog is just, I would show you because he's really cute, but I'm not sure if I can. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll keep him here for a bit, and we'll see if he wants to stay. Okay, so if student's visa, student accommodation at university, if apply same time post accommodation. That's also another question we get pretty often, and that is that your family must have the same address as you have. So the main applicant and the family reunification must have the same addresses. So if you apply at the same time and you're using, for example, the university dormitories, then your family would need to have accommodation arranged through the university dormitories as well. If this is a problem for you, then get your visa approved first, move to a normal apartment or to a different accommodation, and then bring your family, because your addresses must be the same for all your application. Because if you have one address and you say that you're moving your family here to live with you, but they will be living in a different address, that kind of doesn't make sense, and the ministry could easily deny the application. Okay, so this is the cutie doggo, and he's not really happy up here, so I'll put him back down, and I'll continue with the questions. Okay. Yeah, he was sleeping the whole time, and then when I just started the live stream, he wanted to join me. Okay, guys, just give me 1 second. I'll give him some pellets. He will be eaten, and I'll continue with the questions. Okay, just a second. You can enjoy view to my shirts there. Okay. That should hopefully work. I gave him some food. No, but he's still here and he's watching me. Okay, anyway. So hopefully that was a good enough answer, Arpan. Ipshit, nice to see you so early rather than your midnight live. Yeah, that's true. I usually do, or usually, like I used to do live streams at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, then start at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then I the last couple of weeks I've been doing it at midnight or at around the time because we've had so much work in Move to Prague that I just couldn't do earlier. You know, yeah. So when I finished all work in the office, I still wanted to deliver the content. I still wanted to do the live streams. So the only time I could do that was at midnight. So, but there were still people watching, including Air. So thank you very much, guys, for that. I'm happy I'm useful and you watch me even there. Safa Bugatfa, thanks Jan, you're doing great work. Thank you very much as well. If you don't follow me on YouTube or you're not subscribers from Facebook, go there because I'm pretty fast with replying the comments on YouTube because it doesn't matter why, but I'm pretty fast there. So if you have any questions, it's the best to ask on YouTube. Anyway, Ismail Alia. Good evening, Mr. Jan. Been trying to contact you for a few days now, but haven't gotten any reply. Okay, let me check it. If you can just send me a message, like a direct message once we finish the live stream and with your email address, and I will check where it got lost. Okay, Arpan Shah, very confusing, sir, because if main applicant apply for student visa, so spouse not come in same day with main applicant like UK, Finland. Well, yeah, it depends. As mentioned, that's about how safe you want to make your application and also how strong is your application as the main applicant. If the main application is very strong, you're sure of that, then there is no problem with applying along with your family together. But if the application is not that strong, I would probably recommend waiting with the family. Another thing is that all those applications, let's say you submit 3 applications, you, your spouse, and your child. All those 3 applications will most likely be approved at different times. Obviously, the main applicant will be approved first, because without that, there would be no family reunification. But then the spouse and the child, there can be delay, sometimes even a couple of weeks, and there can be even delay between the spouse and the child. Because it's just about like who's solving the case, and usually it's not the same people because there are different decision makers responsible for student visas. There are different decision makers responsible for family reunification, different for employee cards, because those are different processes. So there can be quite significant differences. Malika, hi Jan, how are you? Malika Damiseti, thank you very much. I'm good. I had a small kind of a nap before the live stream, so I hope I am more energetic than when I'm doing the live streams at midnight. Ismail, thanks, will do. Thank you, and I will check it. Will let you know. And some questions from YouTube. Hi Jan. From Gabriel Gabanatlhong. Gabriel Gabanatlhong. Hi Jan, my family reunification visa was approved, currently serving in notice at work, not yet at Czech. Is there a time frame when I should be in the Czech Republic? Looking forward to work with Move to Prague on my next application. Thank you for your insightful information. First, let's start from the back. We'll be happy to help you with the extension, or if you want to switch from the long-term visa to long-term residence permit, we'll be happy. We at Move to Prague, we're happy to help you with that. So please get in touch. As for your question, there is difference between the visa and the residence permit. If your visa is approved, you don't really need to hurry. Basically, the visa, it depends on many things, but the maximum validity of the visa is 1 year from the moment when you pick it up. It doesn't have to be like that because it depends on the validity of the main applicant's visa. It depends also on your proof of accommodation. It could be also shortened based on your health insurance. Yeah, sorry, always watching for the dog. So you don't have to get the visa for a full 1 year, but you can technically get it for 1 year from the moment when you pick it up from the embassy. So if you pick up the visa, if you already have it in your passport, you have the visa for a given period of time, let's say 1 year. But then if you stay for another 3 months in the country of origin and you come later, that's completely fine because the visa is already valid. So that's fine. The only thing is that you should not really wait too long. Like if you waited more than half of the time to come, if you got a visa for 1 year and you waited for 6 months to come, then the ministry could kind of see it as not fulfilling your purpose of stay, because you got a visa saying that you want to live with your spouse, but more than half of the time of the validity of the visa, you were not living with your spouse. So the ministry could question if the purpose of your stay is real, or if you were just trying to get a visa to the Czech Republic, but you don't really want to live with your spouse. Guys, sorry, one more feed in of the dog. He ate everything, he drank everything. He's very hungry today. And I'll give him a micro glass of water as well. And then hopefully he'll stay calm for the rest of the stream. Okay, so I'm back. So that's one thing. If you got your residence permit approved, for example, the card for 2 years, then there are some time limits. And the main difference there is that when you pick up the visa from the embassy, you will get the visa for 6 months. And the validity of the maximum time you can spend in the Czech Republic is 60 days. So the visa, the 6 months will start from the moment when you pick it up from the embassy, and the 60 days will start from the moment when you enter the Czech Republic. So there are more timelines, and you should not wait for too long. But if you just got approved and you're finishing your job and you will be moving here in 2 months, that's fine. But the main thing is, if you got the residence permit, for example, approved, not the visa, then once you give your biometric data in the Czech Republic at the ministry, then you need to collect the actual card within 60 days. Otherwise, they will cancel it. Because if you gave the biometrics, there are these deadlines. So you need to definitely collect it as soon as possible after you give the biometrics. With waiting to come to the Czech Republic, it's a bit more flexible, but after you give the biometrics, pick it up as soon as you can. Hopefully that was good enough. Answer, Safa. I wonder if I can apply for the family reunification visa in KSA and get the approval at the visa stamp in my home country, Tunisia. Thank you in advance. No, you always, wherever you apply, you need to pick it up from that embassy. So if you apply wherever, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what KSA mean, but let's say if you apply at the Czech embassy in Tunisia, then you need to pick up the visa from the Czech embassy in Tunisia. You cannot pick it up from any other country or any other embassy. So you always have to do it. You have to pick up the visa from the embassy where you applied for the visa. Okay, where's the dog? Oh, there. Good. Yeah, he's super cute. Okay, Rochelle. Hi, Jan. I'm currently on parental leave and wanted to bring my children for family reunification visa. Can I do that? Well, it depends. If you want to bring your family for the visa, you only need to show that you have enough money in your bank account. So there is no problem with that. If you have enough money in your bank account for the whole family, that's fine. But if you want to apply for the residence permit, then you need to prove that you have high enough monthly income. So then it depends how much is the parental support from the government, and if it covers the cost of like living of the whole family, or if you have, for example, a spouse who's also working and you would be combining your income. If yes, and if you're making enough, then there is no problem with bringing your children. That's fine. Okay. All right. Safa, Saudi Arabia. Okay. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I understand. Okay, thank you. I see, I appreciate your help. My pleasure. Rochelle, how much money is needed for 2 children? If you're applying for, guys, you will actually now have like maybe first-hand information. Bobe, come. I don't know. He's always sleeping the whole time, and then when I start to live stream or a call or something, then he starts doing crazy things like this, going all around and picking up stuff and doing whatever he's doing. Sorry for that, guys. So how much money is needed for two children? Okay, so the thing which might be changing tomorrow is that the existential minimum, which is kind of like a theoretical number saying how much money a person needs to survive for a month, will be increasing from the 1st of April, so tomorrow. And based on this number, the minimum requirement of money in your bank account is calculated by the Ministry of the Interior. So I personally expect that they will increase the minimum tomorrow, but we'll see tomorrow. They don't have to. They can keep it on the level as it is. But the last time this minimum increased, they increased it as well. So we'll see. Most likely we'll need to have more money. But as of now, 31st of March, the minimum for family reunification visa for an adult is, let's say, 95,000 crowns. It's slightly less, but let's say 95,000. For kids is half of that. So if you have two children, then it would be double that, half of that, double that. So basically just one adult person, and that's roughly 95,000 crowns. But as mentioned, it's likely to increase from the 1st of April 2022. So we'll get in touch maybe tomorrow or check the Ministry of the Interior website and you'll see. As of now, 95,000 for two people, for two kids. If you were asking about the monthly income, there is a special calculation for that, depending on your rent and depending on how old are the kids. So that would be a bit more complicated. I don't know it from top of my head. And if that changes from tomorrow as well, then it will be a bit more messy. So let's focus on the visa now, and let's say 95,000 crowns for two minor kids, with a possible increase from tomorrow. Okay, so let's now see. There is a question from Chet Gurung on YouTube. I will get to you, Chet, in a second. Let me just see Facebook because I've seen more questions there. Thanks, I will do. Arpanchak, thanks, Yankalina, sir. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Eripshit, at midnight, less questions. Yeah, that's true. That's true. When I do the midnight streams, not too many people ask questions. Arpanchak means Mr. Jan, I will come in September 2022 intake. Then after immediately apply for spouse visa. Yeah, I will come in September 2022 and wait for 2 to 3 months after applying spouse visa. Basically, you can apply. What will be safe for your spouse is to apply right away when you know that you are approved. So if the embassy lets you know, hey, you have been approved, then your wife can apply. You don't have to wait for anything, because once you're approved, that's fine. She could potentially also apply during the approval process. If you've been in the process for 2-3 months, so you know that you will get the decision very soon, then she could probably submit the application as well. But she can apply safely as soon as you hear from the embassy that you were applied, you were approved. As long, of course, if she can get an appointment. Malika, Damisete, how much money required for student visa? Yeah, that's the same as for the family reunification visa. So as of now, it's 95,000 crowns, slightly less, but let's say 95, but likely to increase from tomorrow. Malika, to show in the bank account. Yeah, okay, that's been answered. Daria Samola, love from Riga. Here's your fans. Thank you very much, Daria. I'm waving and sending my love to Riga as well. So thank you for joining from Riga. Arpanchak 4L. I don't really know what it means. So please, bank balance 45L. I don't know what it means. If you can explain, please explain. And now back to the questions on YouTube. So, Chet Gurung, hi Jan Hi, Jan. My question is, I applied application for employer change, but now my future employer got suspended from Úřad práce. Please, some ideas for me. That's not good. That's not good. Yes, if your employer got banned from hiring employees, from like hiring foreigners, which can happen if they don't follow the given rules. So if, for example, if me as or me us as a company, let's say, move to Prague, if we hire a foreigner as our employee, we have some duties which we need to do. So we, for example, need to report the start of employment to the labor office latest on the same date as the person started working. If we failed to do that regularly, then we could get fined by the labor office, or we could even become so-called unreliable employer, which means that we would be banned from hiring foreign employees for example, 6 months. So if this happened to your employer, then it's not good, because then the change of employer will not be approved. So couple options, in my opinion. First would be, just if you are still employed in the current company, if you didn't leave it, if you left it, then I would probably speak with them if they can take you back, or if you can find another employer, if you still have time, because you only have 60 days to sort out everything once you leave your old job. But if you're still employed, then what I would recommend is to write a letter to the ministry explaining the situation, saying that you will no longer work there and that you decided to stay at this company. And then if you, for example, submitted for the change of employer, if you submitted the termination agreement, then sign something new with your employer saying that the termination agreement is terminated, that you will not be leaving, and that should be it. Because you can kind of take this back. You can change your mind. Because even if you get the change of employer approved, it doesn't mean that you have to go there. But your current employer can increase your salary or something, so you can stay with your current employer, but you need to let the ministry know about that, because if they approve the change of employer, they kind of expect you to start working there, and you could have a problem when you're extending the employee card in a year or two, or whenever it's expiring. So yeah, if you still have time, find a new employer or speak with your previous employer if they still can accept you back. Or if you haven't left the job, then just cancel the leave-in notice, inform the ministry about that, and you should be fine. If you are past the 60 days, if you left the job, you're past the 60 days, and then this happened, then unfortunately you might need to leave the Czech Republic and try again through the embassy. Rochelle Naval, hope not much changes. Well, based on the calculation I made earlier today, based on the increase of the existential minimum, for the business visa, that's the highest amount of money you need to have. So that would increase from 125 to 137,000 crowns. So 12,000 crowns increase. So for the family reunification, I would not expect it to be that high. But let's say maybe let's count with the worst of the worst, that it increases the same way. So 12,000 more. So it would be 100,000, and so 107,000 crowns for one adult family member or the student. But we'll see tomorrow. I haven't checked now in the evening. Maybe they have changed it or updated it at the Ministry of the Interior website. Or let me actually check it right now. Hopefully I will not disappear on YouTube. So guys, I will check it right now, just to give you the information if you're already here with me. So just a second. Okay, so I will put this like here. Vízum, podnikání, prostředky k pobytu, vízum. Okay, as of now, it's still 125, but today it's still like valid the old one. So as of now, they haven't increased it, or they haven't changed the website or the numbers there. So as of now, I don't have that confirmed, but tomorrow, get in touch with me tomorrow, or maybe I will speak about that on Monday in the next live stream. We'll see if they increase it. Definitely the existential minimum is increasing from tomorrow, and let's see if they increase that minimum requirements as well. Ravana Casino, thank you. Jan, see you soon. Yeah, finally, right? Ravana's family have been approved. So Ravana will be coming to the Czech Republic very, very soon. We're looking forward to having you here. Rochelle is 17 years old, counted as an adult or still a child? Well, it depends. Generally, above 15, they get to the highest category. But for example, for the family reunification visa, uh, up to you can get the family reunification visa up until 26 when you're 26, as long as you're dependent on your parents, meaning that you study continuously, so that you finished high school and then immediately you went to university and then you've been studying university since then. If you're kind of dependent like this, then you can be considered, let's say, a child, or for the family reunification, up until 26 years old. But for most other things like money counting and all this, usually 15 is the limit. Salas, then guys, I'll get to Facebook in a second because I've got more messages here on YouTube as well. Salas DZ, ciao Honza. What's the time required to hear the okay or no after applying for trvalý pobyt via Reunification family? Děkuji moc. Well, for the permanent residency, trvalý pobyt, the official timeline is 60 days. But out of 100 cases, maybe 10 or 20 will get approved that soon. Usually it takes longer. I would say generally 3 to 4 months, but it depends. If it's the family, like if you family reunification, it doesn't matter. If you are both non-EU citizens, it doesn't matter. You're applying as yourself after 5 years, all good. But if you're applying as a family member of an EU citizen, then it's more likely that they will invite you for an interview for the permanent residency, which will delay the process. The foreign police will come visit you, which will delay the process. So if you were applying for the permanent residency as a family member of an EU citizen, then it can take way longer. If you are applying for the permanent residency as a non-EU citizen related to non-EU citizen, then I would say 3 to 4 months. Officially 60 days, but you know how it works with the ministry. Okay, back to Facebook. Bank balance 425L. So that was what I didn't. 4L is 100,000 crowns. Okay, yeah. So that would be 4 to 5L, 100 to 125,000 crowns. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for the explanation. Sunil Chakravorty. My wife is coming on long-term family visa, not residence permit. Can she search a job and change her status? Yes, that's possible. Under the long-term visa, she cannot get employed. So she cannot work freely if she finds a job. But if she finds a job which is willing to support her in the process, she can switch to an employee card or to a blue card. That's possible. Or alternatively, she could also get a trade license and work for companies as a freelancer. Because some companies in some field even prefer it because it's way cheaper for them than to employ you. So they might even ask her to get a trade license. So it depends. But yes, she can, if she finds a job willing to support her in the process, she can switch to an employee card or to a blue card. Arpanchak, okay, Mr. Jan, good night and thanks for your support. Good night, sleep well. My pleasure for the support, and join me next time and like me everywhere and subscribe and everything. You can guys also join my Patreon because I did a special Q&As only for Patreon, for my patrons. Patreon is a platform where you can pay me on monthly basis, like based on how you like my content. You can pay some monthly fee and you get some exclusive content for that. I sometimes create a special videos only for patrons, and I do this once a month, one-to-one session basically, when I create Google Meets or Teams or whatever, and we all talk together, and it's kind of like one-on-one consultation with me just for the very low monthly fee. Also, in the highest, of course, the highest level of the patron, you can also get into my private WhatsApp group. So you will have access to my WhatsApp basically 24/7. So if you have any questions anytime, you can send me a message and I will reply. Because if you send me messages on Facebook, I do my best to reply there as well, for example, but it's not always possible. But as a patron, I always do that because you pay the monthly fee, so you get something extra. Indian currency to Czech currency, what was Arpan was asking about. Okay, thank you very much for the explanation, Ed. Arpan, yes, brother, okay, that's not for me. Malika Damisete, if applied one university for visa later, I can change my university after getting visa. Generally, any changes in the purpose of stay are not really recommended. Because it's always risky. Of course, it's possible. You can change your university, but there is always a risk, which also depends. Sorry, guys. Which also depends on the person who will be making the decision. So if you don't have to do that, if there is any other way, if there is a way to stay with your program, do that. But of course, you can change the program if it's really necessary. But then just make sure that you stay within the same purpose of stay, because if you got a student visa, then your program is accredited. But if you, for example, find a program in another school which you want to study, but the program is not accredited, you would not be just changing the school. You would be completely changing the purpose of your stay, and that would be a completely different application. So if you came on a student visa, your program was accredited, you can change schools, but you should also choose the accredited program. If you came here under the other purpose of stay, and then you want to change schools, you also need to find a new program which is not accredited. So you still fall under the other purpose of stay and not under student. So just be careful about this and communicate with the ministry clearly, let them know, and that should be fine. But if you don't have to do that, don't do that. Stay with the university where you got. See you at next. Thank you. See you on Monday. Thank you for joining all the time, and thank you for staying with me. Today, I again mentioned that it would be very short, and the official part was, but now you're asking amazing questions. So thank you for that. And we've been here for quite a long time. Chet Gurung, thanks a lot. My future employer already submitted my application to OIM. In this case, can I submit new application from another company? Yes, you can, if you stay within the deadline. So as mentioned, you only have 60 days to find a new job and report the change of employer after you left your previous job. So if you're still within the 60 days, you can change employer and you can submit another application for another change. They will just consider always the newest. So if you, sorry, just watching the dog again. So if you submit, for example, one change of employer now and another change of employer 1 week from now, this one, the first one, will be canceled. They will not be checking it at all, and they will only check the new one. They always, like, the new one always cancels the previous one. So just be careful about this. Don't submit like 2 at the same time, because you cannot anyway have 2 jobs at the same time. So yes, if you submit a new application, new change of employer application, that should be fine, and it should null the previous one. Malika, Ostrava, you're not having all in service, so what can I do? Well, guys, just a second. You motherfucker. Here. Damn. What are you doing here? What? What? Okay. He started eating my AirPods, well, just the cover, but he started. Anyway, we at the moment we only have office in Prague. So for example, for the flat search, because we provide in Move to Prague, we provide different services like flat search, for rental apartments, visa assistance, health insurance, and more. So yeah, for example, those which need a physical assistance, then that we can only provide in Prague. But other services, like for example, the visa assistance, which don't really need us in person, we can do from Prague as well. We've had many clients in Brno. We were planning to open a branch there, but unfortunately it didn't really happen due to COVID yet. But we might open a branch in Brno when the situation allows, because we've had many clients from there. We've had many clients from all around the Czech Republic. So many things can be done distantly. Either you come here once just to check all the documents, or we can do everything through Skype. We can check all your documents like that. We can book an appointment for you in Ostrava. We would just not go there with you in person. But besides that, many things related to visas can be done distantly. Chet Gurung, thank you so much, Jan. See you next time. Thank you very much, Chet, for joining as well and for asking the questions, and good luck with finding a new employer. Rovena Casino, finally, I saw the dog, so fluffy. Yeah, no, that's him. That's him. I was promising you the whole time, and this is him. So yeah, he's saying hi. He's sending hi to the US. Okay, guys, it's been a long time. I cannot see how long, but it feels like a long time because I cannot almost talk now. I have sore throat, so I will need to drink something. Thank you very much for all your questions. Like tomorrow, I'm taking your services. Yeah, we'll be happy to help. And this one as well. He's the cuteness manager of the office. Okay, guys, if you have some more questions, please feel free to ask. I will put the dog down and we'll answer one more question. And if no one has any questions, then I'll be finishing the live stream, and we'll go drink something, and we'll probably go to sleep earlier tonight. Because as Ed mentioned, I usually do the last couple of weeks because of the workload we had and moved to Prague. I only had time for the live streams at midnight or sometimes even after midnight. So today I could make it earlier. So I might also go to sleep earlier, not at 1 o'clock at night. Okay, guys. So please, if you have any question, just raise your hand or something. Send me something so I know that you still will be asking questions, and I can answer them. If not, then I'll be just finishing, and want to thank you all for joining. So CB Gurung, thank you. Malika, thank you very much for joining, commenting, asking questions. That's always great that people interact. So thank you very much for that. Swagatika, thank you very much for joining as well, even though we are already finishing. Air Ipshit, of course, thank you very much for joining. Josh, Jennifer, Arpan, thank you for asking questions. Maria, thank you for joining. Arpan, Sunil, Chakraborty, thank you very much for joining as well. Caroline, everyone who joined, thank you very much, and thank you very much for contributing and asking questions. Of course, on YouTube as well, Chat, Rovena, Rochelle, Safa, Gabriel. Guys, thank you very much all for all your questions and making this live stream interactive and good and useful. Swagatika, hello. I hope it worked out with the job. Ismail. Hi again. This is Ismail. Send a message on WhatsApp. Hoping for a reply soon. Thank you for your effort. Okay, thank you very much, Ismail. I will check it. I will check your email address, and if we sent you something, because sometimes we send plenty of emails every day, so sometimes our emails go to spam. So maybe check your spam as well if we maybe sent you something but it ended up there. If not, then I will personally make sure that we get back to you. Swagatika, what is the time to approve family reunification visa? So if you're talking about a visa, the sticker in your passport, the official timeline is 60 to 90 days. But you know how it is with the ministry. Sometimes they stick to it. Sometimes it's approved as fast as like 1 month. Sometimes it takes them forever. but officially 60 to 90 days from when you submit the application. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Let me see. I believe on YouTube there is the count. Yeah, 45 minutes, guys. In the beginning, I was saying that this will be like a very short one, and the official part was. But then, thanks to your questions, we got to 45 minutes. So that's crazy. 45 minutes of answering questions. That's a lot. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Hopefully this was useful to you. Thank you very much for the following. Guys, if you are following me only on YouTube, please join my YouTube. On Facebook, join my YouTube, join my TikTok. I'm pretty good on TikTok and have a very short and interesting videos there, including the different numbers of different nationalities in the Czech Republic, like how many Indians live in the Czech Republic, how many Indonesians, how many Americans, and everyone. And you guys from YouTube, please join me in my Facebook group, Expats in CZ Help and Support Group, or on my Instagram or TikTok as well. And of course, guys, those of you who want to get something extra and who want to get in touch with me directly and get into my private WhatsApp group or get some other advantages, you can also join my Patreon. If you go to Patreon, search for Jan Kalina, you'll find me there. And I'll be happy to create a special content just for you there. Svagatika, thank you so much for your reply. God bless you. Thank you very much as well, Svagatika. Guys, sleep well and see you again on Monday. Ciao. Bye-bye.